direct from the heart of Africa. If this is your first time watching me on this channel, you are highly welcome. This is a place for separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstitions, and the concepts from the misconceptions about African spirituality. Today, I'll be talking about what we call urban shrines. These are modern day shrines or shrines that you find in urban centers, as in cities, okay, where we say metropolis or any kind of a modern city, the kind of shrines that is needed there, and how to modernize sacred spaces. This can be sacred space in your house, your compound, or in a city, in a town. This topic is necessitated by certain misconceptions that in order for you to practice your spirituality effectively, you must model it exactly to down to the T of the way ancient people were doing it. If we check the way our ancestors in Africa practiced their spirituality, let's say 3,000 to 5,000 years ago, you will discover that the way their temples were built, the way they were building their house back then is not exactly the same way we are building our houses in this modern day generation. A lot of things have changed, but we are still the same people. We still carrying the same heritage, bloodline, culture, tradition, and we're going into the future. So it is very important that as we are living in this modern day reality, we are still African people basically. We need to practice our spirituality in line with what is evident today. So there is need for adapting our spiritual practice to our modern day experiences and realities. This is why this video is necessary. And I want to talk about how we can modernize our spirituality to make it on par, to make it updated with what it should, the way it's supposed to be today. And I have talked about this bits and pieces of this topic in various videos before, but today I want to go completely into it in this video. So when we talk about sacred space creation, this is the situation of creating, establishing an environment that is designed for spiritual reflection or connection to your own divinity, to your own spirits, or to your own ancestors. It is a place whereby you dedicate to the mindfulness practice of focusing on what you will call other world realities, your inner self, or your higher self, or your guardian angel, or your infernal or internal ancestors. So these kind of spaces are necessary to balance our spiritual developments, to connect us with that aspect of us that we will call the subconscious or the unconscious or the deep recess of our spiritual embodiments, or the source of our source, what some people will want to call God. We have different names for this essence. So sacred spaces are places that are very important. As a practitioner of African spirituality, of course, you must have a sacred space that you dedicate to your spiritual practice. In fact, you're supposed to have more than one sacred space as a real practitioner. And this is for good reasons. Uh, for your individual level, you need to have an altar. The altar is a perfect example of a sacred space. We also call the altar a shrine. Some people ask, what is the difference between an altar and a shrine? There isn't much difference. It is just the terminology. Now, it's based on the spiritual practice you are into. In some places that we call the altar shrine, in some places that we call the shrine altar, it is the same thing. Like the church people, Christian people, they like to call their own altar. It is still the what you will see there is the basic elements, the major things, the fundamental things in an altar, basic elements representing spiritual practice. Of course, there will always be a candle there to represent the element of fire, which is one of the five elements of nature. And you will see some natural elements. You can see like bones there representing a natural element of life, symbolizing death and rebirth. That's consciousness that yes, we must all die one day. So we must learn how to deal with death. And this, what you see here, the bones represents a gateway into the spirit world. So it's a medium of transformation. It's also housing the spirits of the ancestors or the deities that we work with. So you will see this in a shrine or an altar. Some people will say, no, we don't put anything like this, but it is very, very important that you have this in your shrine or your altar. Very, very important. If it's not there on the altar, your altar is not complete because we deal with our ancestors. And every spirits have their particular qualities or attributes that they represent. So you must have some. If you don't have this one, you can have some cowries there to represent the shells. You can have cowries, you can have seashells, but at least you must have one of these. Very, very important. It's a natural element. You must also have insects. Insects represents the element of smoke, also fire too. And insects is like a gateway. When you light an insect, as it burns, it permeates into the ether, and it goes into the spirit world. It goes into the plasma ring quite naturally. It's a way of sending messages from one state to another, just like the fire opens a gateway from one state to another. So insect smokes are very, very important. It's part of the things you might want to think to incorporate. There you can also make use of perfumes, good smelling perfumes or good aroma. When you perceive certain kind of smells or odors, they take your mind to certain parts of your subconscious or unconscious that can trigger some kind of spiritual advancement or open some gateways in the spirit or your mind. This has been proven by science. Smells can take you to certain place. Certain aromas can calm the body, can have a kind of psychological reaction to the state of mind. So certain perfumes are also necessary for the same thing the insects are doing too when you light them. So your altar have to be something very nice. A lot of people use frankincense in ancient Africa, and the Catholic Church still use the frankincense. Till today, frankincense have a very powerful effect on the mind and of the individual. It chases away negative energy. It uplifts the spirits of the individual. It's like it removes your mind from depression, from anxiety, from anxiety. Somebody that thinks too much. When you expose them to frankincense insects, it helps to cure them of those overthinking. So they use it a lot in churches. So when people go to the church, they perceive this frankincense, they forget about their problem. So it's a kind of aromatherapy to relax your mind and to make you feel good. We have so many of those kind of perfumes and oils you can find. We use them a lot in African spirituality. So these kind of things are necessary for your sacred space creation. Very, very important. So you must kind of have them. So we use all these things, we incorporate them. We also have water representing life, and have many other representations. You can give the water as an offering to your ancestors. You can use them for libation. You can use them for other kind of things. So it's a kind of a component. If you don't have that, you can have maybe liquor, alcohol, or any kind of thing you feel that represent that. This is some basic things you're going to find in every spiritual altar, whether the person is a Buddhist, Hinduism, or Christian. I don't know much about Muslim, but I believe they have something that they use for all these kind of things. So we still use these are very ancient elements for connecting with the spirit world that have been used for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. We still use them today. Okay, they don't change. These are the elements of nature. You just cannot do away with them. They are still here today. We still use them in our spiritual practice. And now the present thing is that we modernize these altars. Nowadays, designing your altar is based on your mind, your what your intuition tells you to do. It must not necessarily mean the way I do mine that you must do it exactly like that. Things that I place in my altar are symbols that are connected to me. Some of them are cultural symbols, some of them are symbols that are inspired by different deities that I've crossed my path with. And it will help you to also do the same thing as you go across your spiritual journeys. There are things that you will see that will speak to you, that you will connect to naturally. Those kind of articles are best for you to incorporate into your sacred space. What means something to me very dearly can mean something else to somebody else. So those kind of things are necessary to customize your spiritual practice. No two spiritual paths are exactly the same. Even if we are from the same house, the same family, we cannot be exactly the same. So the way I practice my spirituality will not be 100% the same way you practice yours. Yours is based on your experience of life, where you are coming from, your own unique experience. And it has to be reflected in your altar. When you look at some people's altar, you can tell their story to a certain extent to know the kind of things that they hold dear, what really matters to them in life, and what they are attached to. So everybody's altar or shrine should speak a different language to them and to the world. So it's a reflection of your expression of your connection with divinity. So you should not copy other people's altar. As you grow in your spiritual development or practice, you will be incorporating various elements, you'll be coming across various deities. And if you connect to something very strongly, you might incorporate them to your practice. Like if you notice me and you have been following me for long, you will notice that my altar didn't just start like this today. It has been growing as I progress in my spiritual development. I incorporate new and new items to fit into my spiritual practice, things that I work with, things that I see very dear to me, or things that I naturally connect to. I put them into my practice, I adopt them, and I put them inside. All this adds to the beauty, adds to the color, adds to the expansion and growth of my spiritual practice and development. And you will see this. So it normally happens. It's okay for you to see this in the life of people. When you see this happening, you will know that this person is growing, this person is actually moving forward, discovering new things, expanding their spiritual consciousness. So it's very, very normal. So for some people, we say, no, for your altar, you must put this and this and this, and there must be nothing else. It must be only this. Anything, add any addition or subtraction, you have spoiled the whole altar. That altar is no longer valid. I will say that is wrong, because life is a continuous process. If you only have some specific items in your altar and you expect those items to be there for the next 50 years of your lifetime, your altar might be very boring. Me, myself, I'm not that kind of person. It will just be, my spirit is discovering things and expanding consciousness. So if there's somebody tell you to just leave only these items there, you will end up with a very boring altar. At the end of the day, your spiritual practice might become stressful and cumbersome, or it will not be exciting anymore. It will just be like something that is routine, dark, and dull and boring to a certain extent. So there is need to incorporate new things. Like when you put some new items into the altar, you find out that the energy changes. And when you come to your place of your sacred space, you're very happy. You feel very happy. You feel welcome. You feel a certain kind of new energy, like a new life comes into the place. So I prefer that kind. Like me, I always go. You can see, like I got this dog now, and when I saw it, I connected to it naturally, and now it's part of my altar. And anytime I see it, I feel happy and excited about it, and I'm so happy. And when people see it too, they're also very happy too. And now it's part of my spiritual family with all my other deities that are here, and we are all one big happy family. So this kind of things it matters when you try to incorporate, you expand your spiritual development and your horizon. So it helps with your growth, it helps with your focus. It's like each time you add a new element into your altar, it brings a new life into the practice, brings a new energy into the practice. That's why you see some people have very big altars. You wonder how do they manage this. So it is something like this that naturally happens, and it's a good thing. But what you will notice is that the basic elements remains the same. The things that represent the five elements of nature remains the same. The basic principle is always the same. The underlying principle does not change. Okay, but other things can change to increase it, to expand it, to add more life or more color to it. So urban shrines are the same way as we are living in this so-called 21st century. We need to adapt our sacred spaces, our shrines, altar. We need to modernize them from time to time. We need to adapt them. We need to make them unique, and we need to incorporate our African culture, our African cultural elements into it. One thing that you see that is missing from most African shrines is that many people don't kind of want to express their African connection, especially in the open. Many people are ashamed to identify with Africa openly, but they are not ashamed to identify with the Western religions. If you go to the home of many African people, you will see once immediately you enter, the first thing that will greet you is a very big life-size picture of Jesus Christ as a deity with a writing giving control or authority over the whole house. This is very, very common in Africa. But you will not see any African item, no African artifact, even picture, poster of any African stuff. You will not see it anywhere. But you're going to see a lot of things from Europe promoting white supremacy, promoting the European culture. This is so because they don't see their culture important. They have been made to believe that their culture is inferior or their culture does not matter. Or when you put your stuff from Africa, people will look down on you and they expect you to, as you kind of sign of sophistication, you must identify with European culture. So they don't want to incorporate this. So you go to many houses, you will see nothing from Africa inside. And you're surprised when you go to the white people's houses, you will see a lot of stuff from Africa inside their houses. So I don't know why it is like this. The Caucasian buy our stuff and they showcase it. We buy their stuff and we showcase it. It's like where this kind of exchange of stuff. The real best versus the fake. They hide our stuff, they hold it. We will take the fake one they give us. We take pride in it. Something like that. So as a practitioner, you need to incorporate some uh, African items into your shrine. It's not a bad idea to get some artifacts, get anything that you see that connects you with your spirituality. You can buy them and put it there. As far as it speaks to you, it connects you, it gives you a sense of pride and belonging, and it motivates or inspires you to connect to your true self. You can have those kind of things in your shrine. It's not a bad thing. It's your own personal custom designs. This is how you grow. So everybody's path cannot be the same. But the main principles must be there. And the benefits of these urban shrines is that it sets as a unifying base for your spiritual consciousness. It connects you to your spiritual essence, and it's the place where your ancestors can rest. When your deities they come to see you, they have a resting place, and it also creates a kind of a compartment in your mind that you take your spiritual life so seriously to the extent that you have a space for physicalizing it in the real world. So you doing something like this in your house tells your spirit that you are serious about your practice and you are dedicated your life to it, and it tells the ancestors the same thing. So your deities they will create that space for you, their own spiritual altar in the astral plane for you as well, to facilitate this connection because it's your will. You will this into physical existence. So your deity serving you, we have no option than to create a counterpart in the spirit world to enhance this two-way connection. This is the way it works. And according to Carl Jung, once again, it's a way of making the unconscious conscious. That spiritual essence or ideas that you have inside you, you have been able to bring it out into the physical world, taking it out from the spirit world, bringing it to the physical world. It stabilizes it, it balances it, and it makes it permanent in your life. So in other words, you becomes the deity in physical form because you are the gateway to the realm of that deity through the physicalization of your altar. When people talking about the deity you represent, your altar is the focal point for them to make contact with that deity. So you now becomes what you, they say the man thinks, as a man thinks, so he is. You now becomes where what you focus on. Okay, they say if leave too for soup, they turn to soap. So now so it just be. So you have to physicalize these altars. Now there's another thing that people are saying. Your altar must it be accessible to the public? Yes, there are different kind of altars. There are some that are not supposed to be accessible. That's why, as a serious practitioner, you need to have more than one. The ones that you, where you walk, you do your walk, you do your deep meditation. It should not be accessible to everybody. But there are others that is designed for focalizing the consciousness of people. People can see those ones. You put it in the public place, like we have architectural designs whereby to enhance the spiritual consciousness of the people. You can see this in the monuments that are built in the cities. Some of these monuments are built in roundabouts. They are built in the architecture of houses that we see in the landscape. So why this is very, very important is that people can see this as they go by their daily business. When they see this spiritual status, it connects them to their spiritual essence. It reminds them, and it tells them that they belong to something that is bigger than them, and they must all work for the purpose of bringing that very of preserving that cultural essence that they have. It serves as a way of uh, focusing on creating their identity, showing them that they have an identity that they are connected to, that they need to promote. The way you know a people is through their cultural expressions, it's through the things that they have done, it's through how they see life. Like when you go to India now, when you see the architecture of the Hindu people, you will know that yes, this is why they call them India people. This is who they are based on what they believe in, how they see or they perceive reality. You will see this in the way they build their houses, the way they build their temples. You will see this in the way they build the artifacts around everywhere. This is how you know them. When you go to Chinese people places too, you see their Chinese artifacts. You see how they are able to craft and design the artifacts in the shape and likeness of their ancestors and their deities. You see, this is how the Chinese, this is what you will use to recognize the Chinese people. So it acts as a focal point of preserving their identity and showcasing their worldview, ideology, and upholding their traditions and preserving it as well. Also, as a focal point of memorizing or keeping records of history, certain artifacts we from this way it is built, we tell you what have happened in the past. So they use these artifacts to preserve the history of particular incidents in time, and this can serve as a collective place to keep to serve as a memory bank for remembering what has happened, so that they can make sure that they have a better future for themselves. So these things we call them shrines, urban shrines. So they are very, very important. You will see this in various countries that you go to, and when you see this, you will know yes, these are the people that are living here. This is what they believe in. This is what they represent. We in Africa, we used to have a lot of all these things, but due to colonization, many of them were stolen. You will find many of them in European museums. Many of them were destroyed. If you look at the monuments from ancient Egypt, you will find out that the nose of almost all the artifacts have been broken. Because when you see the nose of the pharaohs, the Nusubitis and the royal people, you know that they are all African people. So in order for you to forget about your ancestors or the not to remember that they are African people, they have to break up the nose and try to whitewash the skin of the image to say they are not African people. anymore. So artifacts are very, very important. It is because of the artifacts, the Kemetic people left behind, that we are able to know that yes, they are African people, they are not Arabs. It is because of the artifacts. So if we don't have artifacts about our spirituality and our ancestors and our history, we don't have it around, our history can be easily wiped, be washed off. And people will come to say it's a lie within 1, 2 generations that we wipe everything about us. So we need to be building these urban shrines and incorporating our African deities and ancestors into them to preserve our history for the future generations. Okay, so they are very, very important. So, in fact, the importance of them cannot be overemphasized. So, in modernizing your sacred spaces nowadays, you must consider putting statues or pictures of your ancestors as part of the architectural designs. You must put them there, especially if you are doing as shrines for outdoors. You can put statues of notable, famous people that stood for justice or equality or did something remarkable in the life of those people in the time past. All these are part of the urban shrine. This will serve as physical reservoirs of your memory link to the past, so that future generations can connect to it. These kind of altars or shrines, they are very necessary for unifying the people and giving them a sense of unity and purpose. Very, very, very important. We don't have most of these things in Africa. So an urban shrine, this kind people can see them. Okay. Then we have those that we can put in your compound. Or you can also do the same thing. Then your own private shrines are the where you do your spiritual work. Some people have laboratories. These are people that deal with a lot of spell working, metaphysics, and offerings. This is not a shrine. It's not more than it's a lab. I have seen people that have laboratories. I will call it a lab, where they mix a lot of herbs on a regular. You will know the way those kind of places are. So we also have them. So those kind of places are not for everybody to come in. It is not where you showcase artifacts. It's a place that is designed for work, constant work. Okay, it's always things are always happening there. Things are happening from morning till night. There are always things that you do, mixing of compounds, mixing of herbs, prayers, offerings. You say this is not more a shrine. This is a laboratory. So those kind of places, not everybody can go in. Some people have that. But in the essence of urban shrines, as a modern day practitioner, it is necessary that you incorporate some African elements into your sacred space or inside your living room, your house. You have to Africanize it and modernize it to adapt to modern day realities. Just like we see this in churches and mosques, when you go in, you see they have latest technologies there. If you also go to temples or in Asia, the Buddhist temples, Hindu temples, you will see them using modern technologies. They have internet, they have computers, plasma TVs, they have all these modern amenities right inside the temple. And people go there for a lot of things. People go there for tourism, people go there to study, people also go there to pray. It is multifaceted. So we need to do all these things in Africa as well to update it. When we have been able to do these things, when people come to your shrine, they see this, especially young people, they'll be very excited that they want to come back again because they find out they can do so many things there. And it is not just a place that is boring or dark or dirty or not update, not it's not current, so that we say it's not updated. So we need to update our spiritual practice. Very, very important. And most importantly, we need to come online, talk about all these things, and showcase it just the way I am trying to showcase this shrine here as part of my spiritual developments. Very, very important. People need to see this. When people see it, it will enhance their practice. Okay, it will make them know how to do certain things. Okay, and it will also normalize it as well. And We give them ideas of doing things that are better. So we need to be doing all these things. So showing shrine does not mean that it's a bad thing. Some people will say, "Oh, you once the people see your shrine, it has no power." Who told you that? When people see it, they're supposed to be empowered. On the, on the that is the essence of the shrine. When you see it, you are supposed to be empowered. So you need to empower your shrine and allow people to see it, especially people that want to practice or people that don't understand the practice. Okay, so they are the ones you people can see. They are also the ones that people cannot see. Like this now, I put it in the video. The essence is for people to see it. That is why I always put it here. So you have to see it. Very, very important. So as time goes on, I will also be incorporating new things, any new elements that I see that I like or I feel connected to, I will be incorporating them so that people can see it too. So it's very, very important that we connect back to our own spiritual essence and adapt it to your modern day lifestyle. So all this adds to the beauty, to the spiritual and evolution or real evolution we are talking about. Or revolution, any way you want to talk about it. So it's part of it. So there's a need for us to modernize our sacred space. We can put pictures of popular ancestors, can be Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Bob Marley, Fela, people that have done great things, Theophilus Obenga, even Nelson Mandela. All these are great Africans that we can use as a focal point for unifying and connecting to power, to the real divinity. So this is how it is very important we do this. If we want the practice to survive and we want to take it to the next level, now that we are in this generation, we incorporate elements from this generation to reflect our time and essence, just like the way the ancient people did. So this is how I believe we are supposed to be doing this. Okay, so showcasing your terrain is not a bad thing, especially if you want people to connect. You can connect to any shrine you want to connect to, just like the way you can connect to any altar you want to connect to. For inspiration, for understanding, for even solving your own spiritual problems. Just by looking at certain shrines, you can help you solve certain problems that you're having as well. So all this matters. So it's in view of this that the essence is to bring light, uh, understanding, illumination, empowerment to everybody that needs it, especially people of African descent. So there's need for that reconnection to express our divinity in physical form and most importantly to make the unconscious conscious. This is what is needed for for us to expand and to remain relevant in this day and age. So we should be proud of our African spirituality. Be proud of your shrine. You must have a day, especially if you have children at home. You need to have an altar. They need to see this. They need to understand it. They need to know that it's important. Very, very important. Okay, all this we put this inculcation into them. Okay, so we need this, so we should not be hiding it or promoting other people's spiritual practice while we have our own to the detriment of our own. In other words, we are the ones that are destroying our own culture with our own hands. So we must promote our own before anybody else. So this is a way of promoting it by showcasing it, by working with it, by standing by it. So we can do this on the personal level. On the community level, we need to build these urban shrines in our community centers, in our streets, incorporate this African architectural, sacred architecture into buildings, into community projects, into even government projects. We need to do all these things to create these focal points. This is the way people do it. And you see every culture does this. Even recently, we see the uprising in America where they were tearing down monuments dedicated to racism. Uh, we saw that about 3 years ago. Or those slave traders that were responsible for enslaving people, the ancestors, or be the children of the slave traders, built monuments to them. And there was a rising, and people destroyed the slave monuments. It went around the world. That was after George Floyd riots, and a lot of the slave masters' monuments were destroyed because they were giving glory to racism, giving glory to racism. People like Christopher Columbus and that James Cook. All these are racist people that went around the world selling people into slavery and stealing other people's land. And then the children built monuments to them. Many of those monuments have been destroyed now. This kind of things, giving glory to evil. Why they did that? Because they want to show that they have power over the people, and they build the monuments. Those things are shrines, shrines dedicated to racism. In Belgium, all over Belgium, I've not been there, but people that have been there will tell you that there are statues of a King Leopold all over Belgium. This was the man that killed almost 15 million Congolese, cut people's limbs, stole their natural resources. King Leopold of Belgium. What he did was far worse than what Hitler did to the Jews, but he is still celebrated in Belgium today. There's a lot of statues dedicated to him. So you will say the Belgian people, they are dedicated to racism. For them to see this man that did this great evil as an hero, but when you speak the statue of Hitler, they will say no, Hitler is a bad man. Hitler killed only 6 million Jews. There's no statue of Hitler in Belgium, but there's a statue of King Leopold all over Belgium that killed 15 million Africans. So what does this tell you? That African life have no value, or the Belgian people does not see the evil of King Leopold, meaning they are venerating the statue or the shrine of an evil, demonic, or psychopathic killer as somebody that is their ancestors. So that will tell you a lot about the mentality of the Belgian people towards Africa. Okay, so we see this. This man did a good thing for them because he killed a lot of people in Africa and stole their natural resources to build Belgium. For them, he's a good person. For us, it's a villain. Okay, so this is what we see. That you see urban spaces dedicated to this kind of evil people. So there's need for us to create urban spaces to promote our heroes, defenders of freedom, freedom fighters, people like Shaka the Zulu that fought against Europeans. But we need those kind of statues in more of them in Africa. Okay, so we need all these kind of people like Kwame Nkrumah, Theophilus Obenga, Thomas Sankara. We need those statues, more of them in Africa to represent our values, so that modern day Africans can look towards these people for inspiration and to be like them. Okay, so there's nothing evil about creating your urban shrines. What they are creating is a focal point for you to give you a sense of hope, pride in your culture, direction, empowerment, and liberation. So it is very, very important that we as a collective come together to create these urban shrines for this our togetherness and unity, to stand against opposition, to stand against oppression, to stand against racism and injustice. We must do this as an African people, especially if we need to survive in the future. If we want our spirituality to be strong, we must create more and more of this, so that every junction, our children, our people can be seeing all these things and know that we are serious about this. Not putting pictures of statues of the enemy all over the town. So this is how it is. The same way we do it in the community, same way you can also do it in your personal shrine at home for inspiration. So it's a very good thing that we need to do. Okay, very, very important thing. So this is what I think is the best way to go about this. Okay, so there is a topic for you: urban shrines, modernizing sacred space, and it is what it is. So I thank you very much for watching today. I'm very delighted. Questions and comments are welcome as usual. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe, you're enabled to hit the all notification sign so that when I post pictures, post articles, you will be the first to get them. And of course, if you have not gotten my new book, you need to get it. This is a book on plasma physics. This is the hottest thing on African spirituality right now. In this book, I talked about the fourth state of matter, which is the plasma state. And it is the spiritual world. This modern day science have been able to discover that the plasma state is a gateway to the spirit world. And this is the place where our ancestors resides. And the things you call deities, ghosts, all those things. The place they call hell, Duat, the nether region, the underworld. It is all inside the plasma ring. If you want to know about the states, how it works, and then you can use it to generate unlimited power, this is a book you need to read. I talked about nuclear physics, quantum physics, plasma physics, which represent the trident of Asia. That trident, whoever owns this, whoever have the secret of this three knowledge, will rule over the galaxy. Very powerful book. I covered so many topics here, and you need to have it. It's the most updated material on African spirituality right now on the markets. Get this knowledge, add it to your arsenal, and start doing the thing that needs to be done, preparing for the next generation and for your next incarnation. So it is here. If you have not known plasma physics before plasma physics, there's quantum physics. So you can get quantum because both of them go together. We get the quantum ring. It is from the quantum ring you pass into the plasma ring. The quantum is made up of visible and invisible, while the plasma is fully invisible. So the two goes together. If you have not gotten this one, I advise you to get this one first so you can understand this. But you have got this one, this is the next level for you. So it is out now. Get your copy, empower yourself with this knowledge. Then if you have not gotten Walking in the Shadow of the Gods, you need to get it. Over 200 spells are here for different aspects of your life, for love, or protection, prosperity, different illnesses, how you can be able to heal them with formulas from Africa. See, I'm waiting for you too. Then, Whispers of Amenity, Pathways to Ascension. This one will help you connect with your deities, your African deities, your gods. In this book, I wrote this book as a grimoire. A grimoire is what we call a spiritual or a magical textbook that you can use to make contact with deities, just like your infamous Seven Book of Moses. But this one is way better than that Seven Book of Moses. This one is focused on African deities. The deities here are deities that represent our African consciousness. They are not evil spirits. They are not going to kill you. They don't need anything from you. They just want you to know them so that you can understand yourself as an African. Okay? The more you know about nature, the more you know about God. So Amera is here. Teuti is here. Ishu is also here too. Ampo is here. Santisma Morete is here. A lot of other deities are here. Set is also here as well. So get this book. It will open your eyes, open your spirit, and connect you to divinity. With this book, you don't need a middleman. Okay, you can get it from any part of the world and practice. So Whispers of Amenity is here to balance your skills before you move out of this frame. So the 4 books are waiting now for you. Then if you want to buy your spiritual items, your meditation beads, your cowries or native shop, thunderstone, miracle stone, even precious stones, I have a lot of stuff here. Your soaps, herbs, everything that relates to African spirituality. You want to do your oracle tarot divination, I also do it as well. You can contact me on this channel. So apart from that, I thank you very much. Those people that have been supporting the channel, I'm very happy and delighted. I thank you. It's because of people like you that I'm still here today doing what needs to be done. So it's been a wonderful time speaking with you. I thank you very much. And of course, I'll be seeing you guys in the subsequent videos as usual. So take care and bye. Peace. One love.